clearly they already had plans when Harry was here last, but he chose not to share them with his father. And I think the reason why he didn't share them with his father is pretty obvious, because he doesn't trust the people around him not to leak it to the media. That was always Harry's complaint before.
I'm joined this morning by the Times' London editor, that Battleby, Andy Sylvester.
Nice.
Thank you. I like a link. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. I'm delighted to talk about the Royals.
I can tell just by the way you said that. Well, let's. Harry and Meghan are indeed coming back. The Duke and Duchess of Sussex intend to relocate to the UK later this month. Their children Archie and Lilibet are enrolled to start at a British school in September. Have you ever taken sides in this one, Andy, in the ongoing Team Sussex versus Team Cambridge war?
Yes, I have. And I'm ashamed that I have, that I care so much and
Tell
yet
me everything.
so little.
You're among friends.
I have among friends. It's a big story. It's a great scoop. We now have weeks or indeed months of speculation to come about security arrangements, about Harry's relationship with the British press, which obviously has been a matter of some discussion in the past post various High Court rulings. We have his relationship with the King. We have his relationship with Kate and Wills. We have questions about will he be invited to Balmoral and Sandringham to come. Isn't that exciting?
See, being a proper opinion columnist, I've clearly expressed all manners of opinion on this story, but I can't really remember what any of them were. Let's speak now to Valentine Low, former royal correspondent for The Times. Hello, Val.
Hello, Hugo.
Good morning. Thanks for being with us. So, look, just last year, Harry said it wouldn't be possible for the family to return because of security concerns. Do we know what's changed?
Absolutely not. We have no idea. This came as a complete bolt out of the blue, and got to tip my hat to Victoria Ward on Telegraph, whose scoop this was. Is absolutely amazing, exclusive. So many questions remain unanswered, particularly about security and really why they're doing it. So we don't know what's changed. One very interesting, well, the two key points, I think, are one, that the kids are being enrolled into a school. We don't know where, which school. Because that implies a certain sort of commitment and some degree of permanence about it. And the other is that they are holding on to their home in Montecito, which implies the exact opposite, hedging their bets, and they can run for the Californian hills if they don't like it here. So who knows what's going on?
Look, it's understood that the King was informed of the move on Sunday, and informed is quite an interesting word in that context. Do we think it, I mean, obviously he wouldn't have to give permission for his son to move back to the country of his birth, but do you think it's something that the royal family wanted to happen?
Well, I think you missed the key bit here. The key bit was that he was informed on Sunday, when Harry saw him not very long ago. So clearly they already had plans when Harry was here last, but he chose not to share them with his father. And I think the reason why he didn't share them with his father is pretty obvious, because he doesn't trust the people around him not to leak it to the media. That was always Harry's complaint before. So only telling him a couple of days before it gets briefed to the Telegraph shows a huge level of mistrust going on there.
Yeah, it's of course everywhere today, and as I said, it's pages. It's the front page through to page 7 of the Sun as well. Look, we know the King, Val, hasn't been well. Do we think that might be linked to the move?
I think it might well be linked to the move. Harry famously said he didn't know how much longer his father had left. I think when he was over here last, he and the rest of his family went to go and see Charles, and from what one gathers, the meeting went well. And we're also told that Harry chats regularly to his father on the phone. So perhaps relations there are a bit better than they were. And in the light of that, it's entirely understandable that Harry would want to be nearer his father. It's not the whole story, I'm sure, but I think it might well be part of it.
What do we know? What's the consensus about their time in California, whether it was a success or not? Because, I mean, a lot of people think they intended to achieve more than they have done while there, but there has been the Netflix series, there were the podcasts, there has been the Jam. Have they done everything they wanted to do there?
I think they wanted to be bigger media players than they are. The streamers got out of them what they wanted. They got the Netflix series. I don't think Meghan's podcast series was a huge success. It certainly won't be repeated anymore. And their attempts to be producers, I don't think have panned out quite as well as they hoped. So I don't think they've made as big a impact on the kind of California media landscape as they'd like to have done. As for the Jam, well, she claims to have sold a lot. Whether we believe that is another matter. I just don't get the impression it's gone quite as well as they hope. But they say it's still going. They say Meghan's business is thriving. Of course they would. But who knows? But the interesting thing is they're showing the signs of life being pretty going well, in the sense that they're keeping they will have 3 properties when they come over here. So the money side of things is presumably going well.
Well, so the Sun is pretty clear that there's no prospect of them becoming working royals again in this country. Presumably that hinges in part on Harry's relationship with his brother. Can you see them ever becoming working royals again?
No, I think that's pretty much water on the bridge now. That's not going to happen. The royal family don't particularly want it. Harry doesn't want it. Meghan certainly doesn't want it. Maybe Harry would do the occasional job. Maybe lines might be blurred in the future, but it's highly unlikely.
Yeah, look, thank you very much indeed. That is Valentine Low, former royal correspondent for The Times. Always a pleasure to speak to you, Val.